Kugan Cassius, IFL TV. What's the matter?
Oh Lord!
What's wrong?
Did you see that?
See what?
You could cut the atmosphere in here with a knife. In fact, you could cut it with a spoon. Make it more painful.
Right. Who won that battle today at the press conference?
I think George is genius. I think George is brilliant what he does because he does it without even trying. Carl deflected it really well by basically not talking directly to George or even answering any of George's questions. He basically did the right thing. Give the guy credit where credit was due. Look back and said, I hope it's going to be a good fight. I think they both conduct themselves very, very well. As a wind-up merchant, I think George is brilliant. As for control, I think Carl, he did the right thing, controlled himself. I was pleasantly surprised and impressed with how he handled George because George is brilliant at winding people up.
There's going to be a few of these press conferences. Is Carl Froch going to be able to keep his composure like he did in the press conference
today? As long
as
he believes in the reason why he acted how he did today, as long as he believes in it, he's going to understand that the reason why George did so well in the last fight is because he bit, because he got emotionally involved, because, like he said, mentally underestimated and had no respect for him. Now he has respect for him, and that's all the difference here. And as long as we see that, if he can keep this all the way up to the fight, all the way up to any press conferences they have together, every time they meet, that's why Carl wouldn't look at him in his face because it'd be like an explosion. He thought, you know what, I don't want to interact with you, I don't want to eyeball you until it comes to fight time, and even fight time comes, I'm going to be cool and just put it on in the box for fight night.
He's suggesting in this fight that tactically it's going to be Cole that's going to have to adjust rather than George. George will possibly go into the fight with the same attitude and the same way he did in the first, but it's Froch that's going to have to somehow change.
Let's look at this one. I think George Groves is technically the better fighter. He's got the youth, he's got an excellent jab, he's got confidence, and he's got the ignorance of youth. I think for supremacy in regards to success in what he's done, you've got to look at Carl. Carl has done everything. He's come from behind to beat good boxers, because that's through cojones, that's through guts, that's through experience, that's through that self-belief, and that's what Carl's got more of. That George Groves can't pretend, borrow or buy. So what the wisdom that Carl Froch has got is everything in this, and so it's how he approaches it.
What happens in the fight? What happens?
I think Carl Froch, George Groves tries to outbox Carl because he knows he can outbox him. Tries to control and not get himself involved in the tear-up. Knows he's got the ammunition to do it, but he'll try and stop it, put it on him in the last half of the fight. For Carl Froch, I think Carl Froch has a Lucian Bute mentality. Lucian Bute, there was fear involved in that. There was that kamikaze element involved in that. There was that instinct involved in that because he knew he was up against it. He now knows he's up against it here against George, and that's why I think Carl Froch goes in there to get him out early, to jump on him early, but boxer's tight, boxer's fine. I can't even see it going past 6 rounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But in saying that, that's if Carl doesn't bite. If he bites, it's another dog fight. It can be anybody's fight. Me and you could fight, and we have a pair of beer glasses, it's whoever lands first. So he's got to use his brain. If he don't use his brain, it's not going to be a good result for Carl.
Okay. So, there's going to be a few of these press conferences now, so I suppose we'll see like a storybook unfold.
Let's just see what happened there. In this press conference here, you saw George Groves and Paddy Fitzpatrick. They knew they couldn't get the Carl, so what they had to do was try and wind up the weak link, which is Carl's brother. Because Carl's brother, he's the alpha male. He's the one that he wears his heart on his sleeve. So they've got to upset him. I remember doing it with a couple of my opponents. You can't get to the opponent, get to the trainer. The trainer's going to get mad, get feared. You're thinking you're trying to put it on me. He's going to say to the fighter, you know what, darling, blah 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 blah. He does his head in. So they want to do Carl's head in. So they're going to try and get to his brother. So his brother acts in a rude way, in an arrogant way, in an aggressive way. So Carl said, yo. So Carl's just worried about his brother, what his brother does. And that's what they're trying to do. That's why even Paddy, even George, as soon as the press conference was done, he walked up to Carl's brother, who's like 17 stone, built like a brick house, said, all right, sweetheart. Now, you go up to someone and say that, who you've got a bit of angst with, to shake hands, to laugh and joke about it, or do you do it to wind him up, to make him buy it? And he was trying to make him buy it. So he's got to get to him somehow. So he thinks, and Paddy thinks, get to him through his fans, get to him through his supporters, through his brother. That's what they're working on.
Right. Well, Johnny Nelson, thanks for talking to IFL
how I roll,
TV
mate.
as
It's how I
always.
roll. It's how I roll. It's how I roll, mate.
Yeah, I think we just keep this one normal this time.
Yeah, it is because I'm sensible. I'm professional right now. Plus my bosses are around. I feel more than we gone because this boy's just getting stupid.